Hi guys, ladies specifically, trying to fix my algorithm. Please, women, engage. I'm gonna put all the alter tags in the description for fuck's sake. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Lini Chef, and in today's video I would like to discuss the topic of, do Russians really like the cold? Because there has been an ongoing stereotype that if you're from Russia or possibly Canada, because it's the same latitude, different hemispheres, we actually are really good at tolerating cold. The short answer is no, we don't, we're not. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye! In all seriousness, I'm going to list you a few reasons why Russians in general actually hate the cold. It's an extremely biased video, especially from my perspective, because boy oh boy do I not like the cold at all. And let's dive right into it, shall we? Okay, reason number one, it's depressing. And it has a long time ago been scientifically proven that the climate that you live in and the amount of sun you receive on a daily basis does affect your mood. That's why a lot of Russians are fairly depressing most of the year, because boy, at least 6 months of snow, if not 9, depending on which extreme freezing part of Russia you're living in. It definitely is a huge factor, and you can be happy when it's freaking snowy and gloomy outside, and especially during mid-season when you are switching from fall to winter and then from winter to spring, when everything becomes grimy, grayish, especially from fall to winter. It is such a terrible transition. It's painful to watch, literally, and it does affect your mood. And the very lack of vitamin D for the most of the year, especially for someone like me who loves to suntan. I'm finally getting my tan back. Even put some crazy eyeshadow. Please compliment me, ladies. And my nails, yeah. You do feel some type of depressing way. No wonder Dostoevsky was popular. By the way, I hate Dostoevsky. So, number one thing is the climate. It's depressing. And the more sunny days and softer winters, or basically no winters, you have in your country, the place you live in, the better mood you're in usually. Of course, there are also huge side factors as safety, overall quality of life in your country, and economy and politics that have a huge impact on how people live and feel like on a daily basis, despite the climate. But overall, climate is number one, most basic thing. If you live in a better climate, you're usually in a better mood. If you live in a terrible climate, you're in a terrible mood. So that's the reason one. Reason number two, we learn how to adapt to it. And ever since the break of dawn, humans are very adaptable creatures, because this is one of the basic survival mechanisms. So in case of Russian people, and I'm talking all kinds of Russians, not only ethnic Russians, but all the non-ethnic ones, lots of fur coats, lots of really heavy warm clothing. Of course, these days there are fur and natural leather alternatives, but you know what I'm saying. And also, the huge factor is food. Russian food specifically, and all the ethnic non-Russian citizens and cultures food in general, is very heavy, comforting, and filling. And 3 main ingredients of our food are beef, like heavy red meats, dough, and dairy. Wheat has become common thing not as long ago, with the development of agriculture and everything. And also like lots of heavy soups, potatoes, one of the main things these days, ever since potatoes were discovered as a vegetable and had been brought from America to the Russian Empire. Lots of fermented foods, preserves, pickled foods, because there used to be no fridges and people had to survive by trying to make jams and also all sorts of pickles, like, I don't know, these days cucumbers and whatever the other vegetables that you could imagine and find. And that's why Russian food may not be as super popular and not probably the healthiest, but it's definitely doing its job. It keeps you warm during the really cold, harsh winters and the meat season. And it's actually quite delicious. It depends on what kind of food you're trying, because as a Russian citizen, I do question lots of food that I grew up seeing, but a lot of other foods, specifically Bashkir foods, because I'm Bashkir, I love to eat it. But unfortunately, I'm gluten intolerant, so I have to really reduce it. Also, the heating system. We in buildings usually have centralized heating system, which does turn on around, I think, October, and they turn it off around April. But I think they shouldn't do it because April weather is really weird and May weather is too. But Russian houses usually, back in the days, of course, it was the firewood. It still is in some like village houses, but in general, it's the gas based heating system, centralized heating system, and it helps our buildings and our houses to keep the warm temperature inside, especially when it's really cold outside. Also, winter tires for the cars. That has been a fairly new invention, but winter tires are a must in the Russian climate because you do not want your car to spin around as if it was on the ice skating rink, for obvious safety reasons. Reason number 3, it's actually more expensive to live in a climate with all 4 seasons compared to, let's say, if you live in a tropical climate, my dream climate, of course, obviously. Because not only do you have to spend money on summer clothing, a huge chunk of Russian people's money goes towards higher quality, warm, heavy clothing, coats, hats, and other accessories, shoes, to stay warm in winter. A lot more money spent on the gas, of course the winter tires. Anything high quality is more expensive, especially these days. And unfortunately, overall worsening of the quality of clothes and all the other gadgets and products does play a huge role. And with the salaries that we have in Russia, which are on average are from 5 to 10 times as lower compared to the monthly US salary, it's tough because when it comes to clothing prices, it's about as the same in Russia as in the US, and that's fucking diabolical to me. Like this dress, this is the summer dress, obviously. This dress cost me on sale, I would say roughly $14-15. And at the time, I was making barely $500-600 a month. I lived in Moscow, and that's like around the average actual salary in Moscow. A month, bro. And the original price of this dress was around $30. I mean, it's actually quite easy to buy the exact same style dress for the exact same amount of money in New York, in the US, or any other like shopping mall, but you will make at least 4 times as much. Isn't it insane? And imagine winter coats, imagine winter boots. Don't make me start. It's really sad. And because of the insane fluctuation and inflation of prices on a daily fucking basis for groceries, your, let's say, $2 kilo of cucumbers will cost you $5 during winter time. I kid you not. And especially if you live in parts of Russia like Yakutia and any other like far east of Siberian Russia, fruit and vegetables over there, especially during winter, are such luxury because of logistics, the climate, because typical fruit that I can enjoy here may not grow there because of the permafrost. And actually the grocery cost in that part of Russia is about the same as in the US, but salaries are shit. Keep that in mind. So Russians aren't quite happy, but you know, you live and adapt. Next, reason number 4. Change of seasons does affect your health in a negative way because when you have amplitudes of temperatures, which is around 10-20 degrees between the daytime and the nighttime, like these days, like it's around probably 15 degrees outside right now, but it was 27 degrees, and I'm talking Celsius, during the daytime, but the wind was a bit chilly. People do get sick a lot more often, especially when the seasons are changing from fall to winter, from winter to spring. There's a lot of influenza going on, a lot of common cold, whatever, and it does affect our health. And like I mentioned in the reason number 1, when you experience a big lack of sun, you cannot stay happy, and it's much easier to fall into depression and anxiety and just overall gloominess, which leads to more common colds, influenza, whatever. I know that people do get sick in tropical climates too, but I don't think it's as common as in the colder climate, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's also one of the huge contributors why Russians do not like the cold. I specifically do not like the cold. Reason number 5. This is personal. You cannot dress the way you want in a more cute way as a woman. The first thing I have to think as a woman during the cold season is the practicality, aka staying warm. So I end up looking like a freaking monster just to get out of the house to throw trash and go to groceries. I mean, obviously, I'm not impressing anyone. I don't know how, when I was in my late teens, I was running in 11 centimeter
stilettos, trying to catch a Prince Charming. That's another topic for another day. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, overall, I would love to dress up like this all year round in my nice dress that I'm sitting. And you can't really do it because first thing you have to think of, especially as a woman, because women do get colder, we actually literally have thinner skin compared to men. That's why we require more clothing, and it's more expensive to be a woman in general. Pink tax is a real fucking thing. You just can't stay cute because you have to stay warm, and it does affect your mood in many different negative ways. That's it. No wonder that if you're a Western person and you like to travel and you can afford to travel, you'll see a lot of Russian people from all across Russia who can't afford it because it's expensive to travel, especially with a Russian shitty salary. You see a lot of Russian people in Thailand, in Florida, in Vietnam, anywhere where it's really warm, because I would prefer the tropical climate. I will be one of those expats very soon. Please pray for me. And by the way, I soon will include the donation link. So if you like to watch my videos and want to support this little small creator, because I want to grow big, I would love at least $5, at least to get $5 so that it can actually keep my channel growing. And I'll be very happy if, you ladies and maybe gentlemen contribute to it. Thank you. Last but not least, also very personal, I would rather slather myself in SPF 50, layers of SPF 50, and be sweating from the hot tropical sun than be freaking packing myself in thousands of layers of warm clothes because I don't want to get cold outside because it's winter, and then end up sweating my ass off in the exact same clothes somewhere in the bus or on the street waiting for a bus. It sucks. I would definitely prefer the ocean breeze, the ocean water. I mean, look at my nails. I did them. Bitch, focus. Nice. I'm manifesting it, and also because I am more tan, I have darker complexion and olive skin tone, I do not look good without tan. I really don't. I look very sick. I look like I have been through hell, which I have been for the last few years. And I really need to stay out in the sun. I'm like an orchid put into a fucking cold-ass swamp situation. I literally live in a village surrounded by swamp and lots of frogs. Hi, where are you, my Prince Charming? Have you been eaten by Shrek? I guess. And there are a lot of frogs everywhere. Okay, dokes, that was it. Thank you so much for watching my another chaotic video because I'm fighting my perfectionism, and these are the reasons why Russians actually do not like the cold. Bye, guys. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, do all the good things, and see you in my next one. Adios. Пока-пока. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Lini Chef, specifically for the ladies, because I dolled up for you. Trying to fix my algorithm. But anyways, in today's video, I would like to list a few reasons why Russians, oh my gosh, no, fuck. I think it's gonna make it. It's gonna make it. It's gonna make it to my bloopers. ASMR. I want to see it in the editing. I think it's gonna be fucking diabolical. Oh my gosh. This is going to be a tough one. Do get involved in your life. Do get involved in people's lives. I love my Tukhmas wash, aka the lagman, the Bashkir style ramen. Oh my gosh, my English is not English. And I personally love our comfort food. Блять, сука.